Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most sought after and mesmerizing coins in modern American numismatics, the 2023 Eleanor Roosevelt $quarter with the P mint mark in the extremely rare and visually stunning black-silver shade condition. This is not just a coin, it's a historical symbol, a collector's dream, and one of the hottest commodities in the coin collecting market today. Stay tuned as we explore the fascinating story behind this quarter and why it's making waves with a market value that will absolutely amaze you. Let's begin with a bit of history and background. The 2023 Eleanor Roosevelt quarter is part of the American Women Quarters program initiated by the United States Mint to honor extraordinary women who shaped American history. Eleanor Roosevelt, the longest-serving First Lady, human rights advocate, and UN delegate, was an obvious and powerful choice for this series. The Philadelphia Mint, represented by the P mint mark, released these quarters to the public in 2023 as a part of this groundbreaking commemorative initiative. Each coin serves not only as currency but also as a piece of cultural significance that pays tribute to one of the most respected figures in American history. What sets this particular coin apart is not just the honored figure it represents but its unique physical features. This specific quarter features the P mint mark and comes in what collectors are calling the black-silver shade condition, a stunning, naturally toned finish that enhances every intricate detail of Eleanor Roosevelt's portrait and the inscription surrounding it. This extraordinary coloration is not standard and is believed to be the result of a highly specific environmental and chemical reaction during or after minting, making each piece with this tone distinctly one of a kind. The contrast between the dark silver hues and the raised features gives the coin an artistic, museum-quality look that simply cannot be replicated in modern mass production. Now, let's talk rarity, and why this coin is causing a frenzy among collectors. First off, this particular black-silver shaded version with the P mint mark is extremely rare, believed to have been part of a small batch or a limited number that underwent unique surface oxidation or storage conditions shortly after minting. Coins in this unusual shade and flawless or near-flawless condition are almost never found in circulation and are quickly snatched up when spotted in the wild or through auctions. Add in the already high interest in the American Women Quarter series, and you've got a recipe for soaring collector demand. What amplifies this demand further is the coin's pristine condition, often graded by top-tier agencies as MS 68 or higher, which qualifies it as investment grade and fit for high-end private collections and showcases. Speaking of value, here's where it gets jaw-dropping. As of today, the current auction market is seeing verified examples of the 2023 Eleanor Roosevelt quarter with the P mint mark in black-silver shade condition reach unbelievable levels. Due to the rarity, demand, and pristine condition of the coin, recent high-profile sales and collectors' estimates have placed its value at a staggering $92,000. Yes, you heard that right, $92,000 for a modern $quarter coin. That's the power of rarity, demand, and historical significance coming together in a single specimen. With interest only increasing, the value shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. For collectors out there, here are a few key tips to help you identify and preserve this gem if you ever come across one. First, always inspect your change and keep an eye out for the distinct dark silver or blackened hue that differentiates this coin from standard quarters. Use a magnifier to check for the P mint mark and ensure the surfaces show minimal wear. If you believe you found one, do not clean it. Instead, immediately place it in a protective case and consult a reputable coin grading service to confirm authenticity and condition. Also, be cautious and informed when purchasing, as the demand has led to many counterfeits. Stick to well-known auction houses and dealers with verifiable reputations. In conclusion, the 2023 Eleanor Roosevelt quarter with the P mint mark in black-silver shade condition is not just another coin, it is a dazzling representation of American history, a rare masterpiece of numismatic art, and one of the most lucrative finds in the current coin market. As collectors and investors continue to seek out rarities that combine modern design with timeless value, this coin stands at the forefront of what it means to be a true collector's prize. If you are lucky enough to come across one, hold on to it, because it's not just currency, it's a $92,000 treasure. Top 2, we're diving into a fascinating chapter of American numismatics as we explore one of the most intriguing quarters ever minted, the 1979 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, it might look like a simple, everyday coin, but for those in the know, this quarter holds secrets that can unlock incredible value. So, coin lovers, listen carefully and stay tuned, because this story is packed with rarity, unique errors, and potential fortune. The 1979 quarter is part of the famous Washington Quarter series, which began way back in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. By 1979, these coins were still a staple of everyday commerce, produced in massive numbers. But within these millions, a few rare anomalies emerged that have captured the attention of collectors worldwide. It's these subtle differences and mistakes that transform a simple 25-cent piece into a prized collectible. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1979 quarter lies in its minting errors, particularly the infamous double die variations. What exactly is a double die? During the coin production process, the die, the metal stamp that imprints the coin's design, can sometimes be improperly created. This causes certain design elements, like letters or numbers, to appear doubled or shifted on the final coin. For the 1979 quarter, some coins show striking doubling on the inscriptions, especially around the words Liberty and the year 1979. This doubling effect gives the coin a distinctive look, making it highly sought after by collectors who specialize in error coins. Identifying these double die errors requires a keen eye and the right tools. You won't easily spot these differences with the naked eye, especially since circulation can wear down the details. A magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe is essential for examining the coin's fine details. Look closely at the lettering along the rim and on the date itself. If you notice that parts of the text look thicker or shadowed, almost as if stamped twice, you could be holding one of these rare error coins. But remember, not every coin with slight doubling is valuable. Authenticity and condition matter immensely. What makes the 1979 quarter with these errors truly exceptional is how few of them remain in excellent condition. Since these coins were widely circulated, most have wear and tear, scratches, or tarnish. Coins that have been carefully preserved or professionally graded in near mint or uncirculated condition are incredibly rare and command a premium in the collector's market. Condition is king in coin collecting, and when combined with a notable error like the double die, the value can skyrocket. Beyond double die errors, some 1979 quarters also exhibit other minting irregularities such as die cracks and off-center strikes. These anomalies add layers to the coin story and make each one unique. Collectors treasure these imperfections because they are snapshots of the minting process, frozen in time. A die crack might appear as a thin raised line across the coin's surface, while an off-center strike means the coin wasn't perfectly aligned during stamping, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. Such features, especially when coupled with excellent condition, increase the desirability and value among enthusiasts. Speaking of value, let's talk about what these rare 1979 quarters are actually worth today. While a standard 1979 quarter in circulated condition might only fetch a few cents or $1 to a collector, those with verified double die errors and exceptional grading tell a different story. Recently, a spectacular example of this rare double die 1979 quarter, graded by a leading coin grading company, sold at auction for an eye-popping $84,000. Yes, that's right, $84,000 for a quarter that originally had just 25 cents face value. This sale has stunned even seasoned collectors and numismatic experts, proving that with patience, knowledge, and a bit of luck, common coins can become extraordinary treasures. If you're a collector or even just someone curious about coins in your change, it's worth inspecting your 1979 quarters carefully. You never know when you might stumble upon one of these rare error coins that could turn into a life-changing find. That I want to hear from you. Have you ever discovered an unusual coin like this in your collection or change? Maybe you've spotted what looks like doubling or an off-center strike on one of your quarters. Share your stories and questions in the comments below because this community thrives on shared discoveries and knowledge. And if you want to learn more about identifying rare coins, grading, and finding hidden treasures in everyday money, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out. Top 3. We're diving deep into the world of one of the most fascinating and rare quarters in American coin history, the 1965 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, this might seem like just another coin from the mid-60s, but let me tell you, for anyone passionate about numismatics, the 1965 quarter holds a mystery and value that's nothing short of extraordinary. So, coin lovers, listen closely because this story is packed with surprises, rare errors, and a potential fortune you won't want to miss. The 1965 quarter is a coin that marks a pivotal moment in U.S. minting history. You see, 1965 was the first year the U.S. Mint produced quarters without any silver content. Up until 1964, quarters were made of 90% silver, but in 1965, the composition changed to a clad copper-nickel mix to reduce costs. This shift made the 1965 quarters ordinary in metal content but extraordinary in their place in history. However, within this seemingly standard issue, rare errors and unique features have emerged that transform some 1965 quarters from common to priceless. One of the most talked about errors on the 1965 quarter is known as the double die error, particularly on the obverse side, the front of the coin featuring George Washington. A double die occurs when the coin die is mistakenly struck twice during manufacturing, creating a doubled image effect that's especially visible in the lettering and numbers. On the 1965 quarter, collectors look closely at the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date, 1965. If you see clear doubling in these areas, you may be holding a coin that is worth far more than face value. This doubling isn't subtle, it often looks like shadows or ghost images overlapping the original text, giving the coin a unique and eye-catching look. But how do you identify these errors if you don't have professional tools? Well, a good magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe is your best friend here. Examine the edges of the letters and numbers carefully. The doubling effect will appear as an extra outline or shadow, making the text look thicker or duplicated. However, it's crucial to differentiate genuine double die errors from other types of damage or wear, so if you believe you have a 1965 quarter with this error, getting it authenticated and graded by a professional service is the key to unlocking its true value. Another fascinating feature that adds to the rarity of some 1965 quarters is the presence of die cracks and off-center strikes. Die cracks appear as raised lines or fissures on the surface of the coin, created by cracks in the die used during the minting process. Off-center strikes happen when the coin blank isn't perfectly aligned with the die, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. These anomalies make each coin unique, and collectors love them because they tell a story about the minting process and its imperfections. When these coins are well preserved and graded highly, they can command incredible prices at auctions. Speaking of value, let's talk about what these rare 1965 quarters are fetching in the market today. While a regular 1965 quarter is worth just a few cents to a collector, those with verified double die errors or other minting anomalies in exceptional condition can be priceless. Recently, a remarkable specimen of a 1965 quarter with a prominent double die error and pristine condition sold at auction for an astonishing $88,000. That's right, $88,000 for a quarter that most people consider everyday change. This jaw-dropping sale has taken the collecting world by storm, proving that even coins minted during a transitional period, once thought to be common, can become some of the most coveted treasures. If you have any 1965 quarters lying around, especially those that look a bit unusual or show signs of doubling or other mint errors, it's definitely worth having them examined by an expert. I want to hear from you. Have you ever come across a coin like this in your collection or change? Maybe you've spotted some strange doubling or odd markings on your quarters and wondered if they might be valuable. Drop your stories and questions in the comments below because sharing knowledge and discoveries makes this community stronger and more exciting. Remember, coin collecting is about more than just the value, it's about uncovering history, appreciating craftsmanship, and experiencing the thrill of finding something truly rare. The 1965 quarter dollar is a shining example of how even the smallest pieces of metal can hold incredible stories and immense worth. So, next time you hold a quarter from that year, take a moment to look closely, it just might be worth $88,000. Top 4, we're diving into the fascinating world of American quarters with a special focus on the 1967 United States quarter dollar. This particular coin might look like just another piece of everyday change, but if you're a serious collector, or even just someone curious about hidden treasures, you'll want to pay very close attention. The 1967 quarter carries a unique story, rare features, and minting errors that have propelled some specimens into the realm of extraordinary value. So, sit back, listen carefully, and enjoy this deep dive into why the 1967 quarter could be worth much more than you think. The year 1967 was part of a transformative period for U.S. coinage. By this time, the U.S. Mint had already transitioned from silver quarters to the copper-nickel clad composition, following the Coinage Act of 1965. This change was designed to save precious silver, but it also led to some interesting minting quirks that collectors find absolutely captivating today. The 1967 quarter, while produced in massive quantities, is home to a handful of remarkable errors and rare varieties that have made certain coins from this year highly sought after. One of the most famous errors to watch for on the 1967 quarter is the double die variety, which can manifest as doubling in the lettering and numbers on the coin's obverse, the side with George Washington's profile. This doubling happens when the die used to strike the coin has been improperly manufactured or struck twice, causing a slightly offset secondary image. On these quarters, you might notice that the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," or the date, 1967, appear thicker or have an almost shadow-like double outline. This error might not be obvious to the casual observer, so a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe is essential to examine the fine details carefully. Aside from double die errors, 1967 quarters are also known for off-center strikes and die cracks, each adding to the coin's uniqueness. Off-center strikes occur when the coin blank isn't perfectly aligned with the die, resulting in part of the design being cut off or shifted. These off-center coins vary widely in terms of how much of the design is missing and are incredibly prized because their misalignment is visually dramatic and quite rare. Die cracks, on the other hand, show up as raised, jagged lines on the coin's surface, formed by cracks in the die that struck the coin. These natural flaws from the minting process are like little fingerprints, making each coin distinct. Now, why are these errors and varieties so important? It all comes down to rarity and collector demand. The 1967 quarter was minted in the millions, but only a tiny fraction have survived in excellent condition with noticeable errors. Condition is a major factor when assessing a coin's value. Coins that are crisp, with sharp details and little wear, will always command higher prices than those that are worn or damaged. When an error coin is also in pristine condition, it becomes a coveted prize in the numismatic world. Recently, several 1967 quarters with these types of errors and exceptional grading have surfaced at auctions, drawing intense bidding wars. In particular, a rare double die 1967 quarter in flawless condition sold for an astonishing $82,000. Yes, $82,000 for a quarter that most people would never give a second glance. This sale shocked many and highlighted how historical significance, rarity, and condition can combine to create massive value. If you happen to have 1967 quarters tucked away in your collection or even found in your change, it's worth inspecting them carefully. Look closely for any signs of doubling, off-center designs, or unusual raised lines. These details could mean you have a hidden gem worth far more than its face value. And if you're unsure about what you're seeing, consider reaching out to a professional coin grader who can authenticate and assess the coin's condition and any errors it might have. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever discovered a rare or error coin like this in your collection or among your loose change? Maybe you have questions about what to look for or how to protect your coins. Drop your stories and inquiries in the comments below because sharing knowledge is what makes the coin community thrive. Remember, coin collecting is a journey filled with history, excitement, and sometimes incredible surprises. The 1967 United States quarter dollar is a shining example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can hold extraordinary value. So next time you come across a quarter from that year, give it a close look. You might just be holding an $82,000 treasure. Top 5, we're diving into a fascinating chapter of modern American numismatics, the 1986 United States quarter dollar with the P mint mark. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another piece of everyday change, but for those who know how to look, it holds secrets that can unlock amazing value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious about the hidden worth in your pocket change, listen carefully because this story about the 1986 P quarter is packed with rare errors, unique features, and a surprising price tag that might just blow your mind. The 1986 quarter is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, continuing the tradition that started back in 1932. By 1986, millions of these coins were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the P mint mark. While the vast majority of these quarters were standard, circulated coins, a rare handful feature minting anomalies that set them apart and make them highly desirable to collectors. These anomalies include double die errors, die cracks, and other mint mistakes that occurred during the production process, flaws that are often invisible without careful inspection but can turn a common coin into a treasure. One of the standout error types for the 1986 P quarter is the double die obverse. This happens when the die used to stamp the coin's design receives a second, slightly offset impression. The result is that key features such as the inscriptions, "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or even the date, 1986, appear doubled. It's not just a small shadow but a very noticeable doubling that can make the coin look like it has a ghost image. This kind of error isn't just a curiosity, it's a rarity that commands attention in the collector market. Detecting it requires a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe because the doubling usually appears in fine details, often overlooked by casual observers, but the 1986 P quarter's rarity and value don't stop with double die errors. Some coins from this year also show die cracks, those raised lines or fractures on the coin's surface caused by cracks in the minting die. While they may look like flaws, these cracks actually tell a story about the minting process and make each affected coin unique. Another notable anomaly is the off-center strike, where the coin isn't perfectly aligned when struck, causing part of the design to be cut off. Such coins are visually striking and sought after because no two are exactly alike, making them stand out in any collection. So how do collectors determine the value of a 1986 P quarter with these rare errors? Condition is everything in coin collecting. A coin with a double die error or die cracks might be interesting, but if it's heavily worn or damaged, its value drops significantly. On the other hand, a coin in near mint or uncirculated condition, showing clear and sharp error details, can fetch high prices. Grading services like PCGS and NGC help authenticate and grade these coins, providing buyers with confidence and setting benchmarks for market value. In recent years, the market has seen some incredible sales of these rare 1986 P quarters. At a recent auction, a stunning specimen with a clear double die obverse, pristine condition, and undeniable rarity sold for an astonishing $72,000. That's $72,000 for a coin that started as everyday currency. This sale highlights how even modern coins, when featuring rare minting errors and maintained in excellent condition, can become incredibly valuable collector's items. If you happen to have a 1986 P quarter in your collection or loose change, it's absolutely worth taking a close look. Examine the lettering, date, and overall design carefully using a magnifier. Look for any signs of doubling, raised lines, or misalignment. If you think you've spotted something unusual, don't hesitate to get a professional opinion. Authentication and grading can make all the difference in understanding your coin's true worth. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare or error coin like this in your collection or during a casual search through your change? Maybe you have questions about identifying errors or how to protect and value your coins. Drop your experiences and questions in the comments below. Sharing knowledge and discoveries is what makes this coin community so exciting and vibrant. Remember, coin collecting isn't just about the money, it's about uncovering stories, appreciating history, and the thrill of discovery. The 1986 United States quarter dollar with the P mint mark is a perfect example of how even recent coins can hide amazing surprises. So next time you handle a quarter from 1986, take a closer look, it could be worth $72,000. Top 6 and last coin, we're embarking on a fascinating journey into the world of modern American quarters, spotlighting one of the most intriguing and sought-after coins from recent years, the United States 2021 quarter dollar, featuring the Delaware crossing design with the D mint mark. You might think a coin minted just a couple of years ago wouldn't hold much excitement or value, but believe me, this particular quarter has captured the attention of collectors worldwide thanks to some rare minting quirks and a remarkable story that has sent its value soaring. So if you're a coin lover or just curious about hidden treasures in circulation, listen closely because this tale is packed with interesting details and a jaw-dropping price at the end. The 2021 Delaware Crossing Quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series, celebrating significant historical sites across the United States. This design pays tribute to George Washington's iconic crossing of the Delaware River during the Revolutionary War, a momentous event that shaped the nation's history. The obverse features the familiar profile of George Washington, while the reverse captures the dramatic scene of Washington and his troops braving the icy waters. What makes the D mint mark version especially interesting is that it was produced at the Denver Mint, which is known for its precision and consistency, making any errors or anomalies even more fascinating. Despite the high production quality, a small number of these quarters have surfaced exhibiting unusual mint errors and unique characteristics that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. One of the most significant errors is what collectors call a double die effect on the reverse side. This error occurs when the coin is struck more than once, causing the design elements, like the figures of Washington and his soldiers, the ice chunks in the river, or the lettering, to appear doubled or shadowed. These details aren't always visible to the naked eye, so collectors use magnification tools to spot the subtle but unmistakable doubling. The presence of a double die error instantly elevates the coin's desirability, as these mistakes are rare and offer a glimpse into the minting process's imperfections. Another fascinating anomaly found on some 2021 Delaware Crossing quarters from the Denver Mint is the off-center strike. This error happens when the coin blank isn't perfectly aligned with the striking die, resulting in part of the design being cut off or shifted. Such misstrikes create striking visual appeal and rarity because no two off-center coins are exactly the same. Collectors are drawn to these coins not just for their value, but for the unique story they tell about the coin's creation and the unexpected quirks of minting. If you're wondering how collectors determine the value of these error coins, condition plays a crucial role. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition with clearly visible errors tend to command much higher prices. Professional grading services authenticate these coins and assign a grade based on condition and rarity, helping buyers and sellers agree on their market worth. It's this combination of rarity, condition, and the drama of a historical design that has propelled the 2021 Delaware Crossing D mint mark quarter into a prized collectible. Recently, we've seen some exciting auctions where these rare error coins have fetched astounding prices. One standout sale featured a near-perfect 2021 Delaware Crossing quarter from the Denver Mint with a sharp double die error and flawless condition, selling for an eye-popping $78,000. Yes, $78,000 for a coin that just rolled off the mint presses a couple of years ago. This sale sent ripples through the collecting community, proving that even the newest coins can hold extraordinary value if they bear the right mistakes and remain well-preserved. So, if you've got any 2021 quarters lying around, especially those with the D mint mark, it's absolutely worth inspecting them closely. Grab a magnifier and examine the details on the reverse side for any doubling effects or off-center strikes. And if you spot something unusual, consider having your coin professionally graded. It could turn a simple pocket coin into a valuable treasure. I'm really curious to hear your stories. Have you ever found an error coin or a rare variant like this in your collection or change? Maybe you've spotted something odd on a recent quarter and wondered if it's worth more. Please share your experiences and questions in the comments below. Let's get the conversation going and help each other uncover the hidden gems in our coin collections. Remember, coin collecting is about much more than just the monetary value. It's about appreciating history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of discovery. The 2021 United States Delaware Crossing quarter with the D mint mark perfectly captures this spirit. So next time you hold one, take a closer look. It might just be worth $78,000. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this detailed look into a modern numismatic marvel, Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any future treasure hunts. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp and happy collecting.